Man, that cut it really close. Usually that banner is a lot longer. I'm actually redoing everything because YouTube's really fickle. StreamYard, it's cool because it allows you to stream to like 3 different places, right? But then YouTube will think that like a certain hi-hat is a copyrighted sound and that you can't have it.
Oh,
And then
really?
yes, YouTube gets real saucy. And so they'll take your stuff down and then you're there kind of stuck with your thumb up your butt trying to figure out if they take it down there, they take it down everywhere. And so yeah, we won't say anything unkind. We'll say only kind things, only good things, all good things, all good things. Anyway, how are you doing before we get into this week's astrology?
I'm doing, actually, I'm going to say I'm doing great because I am like mentally doing great, but this has been a shit load of a week.
A hell of a week.
We had random ink on our sofa. We don't know where that came from that I had to like pull up. My daughter my daughter has a car that she happened to lose both keys to, which just happens to be the last car into our driveway. So we have a bunch of cars that are like all stuck until she finds her keys. Yeah, so it's just been fun.
Yeah. Yes. Pretty consistent right there. We woke up this morning in Ely, Minnesota. We were going to be staying there for a few days. And then it's way off in the distance. It's like a spit from Canada. It's just beautiful. It's a teeny little town where Jessica Biel's from. It's like so cute. We're there and you got to go up and down the hills and around, and you get to this teeny tiny little place. You get out and you have to hike over to the cabin and you take the wood down and you get in and it's all propane and everything. You get going. Supposed to just be rain, which we thought would be really beautiful because we were going to forage mushrooms.
Oh, cool.
But instead we woke up to snow. And our little radio, because that's all you have is the little itty bitty radio. It's like, yeah. Attention, everyone in Ely, expecting a weather advisory alert of 7 to possible 11 inches of snow. And we were like, whoa.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So, and by the time that we got the car packed up, the dog, the 2 children under 10 years old, and all the food and all the things, we had to go back through these roads in a little minivan. And we almost didn't make it. I'm exaggerating, but I'm not exaggerating though. We had to go up and down a hill a few times. It was really scary.
Oh, wow.
The weather got us. It surprised us all. And it was just kind of one of those like consistent universe for this week, which we're going to talk about. So everyone joining us, Mary, we've got Peggy. I see Lauren. Hello, Tanya. All of you guys, whether you're from Instagram or YouTube or from Facebook, we are not seeing all of the Facebook comments, so don't feel like we're leaving you out. If you want to be a part of the live stream, go to the YouTube or go. I think that's the best place to go is probably the YouTube. But anyway, we will go back and check the comments on Facebook, so you don't have to feel left out. But tonight, Matt and I, as usual, we are going to go through this week and what to expect on the Astrology. And today is already the 24th. It's already in the middle of the week. It's already the middle of the week. And I want to start with just saying that you guys know how we felt. We shared on your Sunday night astrology, getting into the deep dive, which was so much fun. We're going to keep doing that.
Yep.
You guys now know how I feel about Leo energy. So today, March 24th, say no more. So today, the moon is in Leo, opposite Saturn in Aquarius. Let's get into this. Do it, Matt. What do you see? What do you feel?
Okay, so hang on. So yeah, you shared your Leo thing, and then I'll just go ahead and share again. And so my Venus is in Aquarius, which I always find that odd. So I wouldn't say stereotypically that's what I would consider myself attracted to. But supposedly, that's what you're attracted to. But as I mentioned on our show, going back, and this doesn't, anyone that I've ever dated long enough to know their birthday has all been Leos. So we definitely have a different, but I don't necessarily, that's not even like, it's weird because that's not even like an energy that I would look at and say, yeah, that's absolutely what I'd be attracted to. But it turns out that they're all Leos. So, Leo, what was the aspect of Saturn?
Moon and Leo.
Moon and Leo.
Okay, so think about that. And the moon, I'm always thinking
So yeah, Moon and
inside.
Leo. So emotions. So Leo is, I view it as it's kind of like the diva energy. It's I want a lot of attention. I want, we joked on the show yesterday that I said, the personification of Leo to me almost would be like Donald Trump. That's all about me, all about me, all about me. And if something bad is going to happen, it's going to be all about you, all about you, all about you, because everything about me is all good.
Yeah.
I'm great.
Yeah.
So, and then Moon being emotional. So yeah, it's going to be high self-esteem. I would say Moon and Leo is a high self-esteem energy and high self-esteem. You're feeling good about yourself.
You're feeling good about yourself.
And you want other people to, like, it's just one of those, I feel good, I look good. I want people to see me and pay attention to me.
That's right. And it's kind of funny because I feel like the timing of the universe and the synchronicity, Jason Easterling, Terry, we've got all kinds of fun people joining us, but Jason, he does a hip hop podcast out of Minneapolis. And when I think of the Moon and Leo, when I'm thinking of the Moon, that inside, how we really feel, and then Leo, old school, Young Hill, got my Vans on, but they look like sneakers, like old school 1990s, like rap music, hip hop. And it's opposing because it's like in your face, but it just doesn't care. It just opposite, opposing. Saturn, because if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it, right? I've always kind of say that because it's that reminder that boundaries, guidelines, NASCAR, concession stands. I always say Deep Space Nine. It's like that gas station in the galaxy. And Aquarius, of course, Aquarius. Air and fire. How do you feel about this?
So I was gonna say too, when we're talking music last night, like David Lee Roth comes to my mind as far as like, I looked it up. He's a Libra. He's not a Leo, but that would be if I had to pick like a musician like for a Leo, David Lee Roth. So Saturn, I think rings again. So think of the rings as boundaries. So like Saturn's all about restriction and boundaries and tying you in. And then Aquarius is kind of like the rebel. I'm going to do my own thing. So I viewed kind of this Saturn and Aquarius as we're going to blow up the rules and do things differently, which I actually think you see playing out in the world stage. Almost every day on social media, there's somebody complaining about something of, this isn't the way we do things. And now we're breaking things down, dismantling the system. That's all like Aquarius and Saturn. So in this case, what was the aspect? I missed. What was is it sextile? What's opposite. The moon? Opposite. Okay, so yeah, so opposite's weird in that you had this kind of like yin and yang, like there's tension, but they kind of complete each other. So I would say that this is, again, highest self-esteem, emotionally feeling good about myself. I'm going to just change the rules. You're going to do this thing this way. I'm going to go ahead and do something different because I'm feeling good about myself and I'm confident enough that I'm going to go ahead and do it. So you're going to have people that maybe energy in changing the rules. You're going to have people feeling good about themselves and feeling pretty optimistic that they can do it. So I view rebellious. So if I had to summarize this, rebellious risk-taking.
That's a really good way to look at it. Rebellious risk-taking, rebellious because you've got Leo the lion and how people really feel with a bunch of Aries stuff. And because of the Aquarius, the Saturn, the rules, the rule breaking in a very stubborn air space that's dramatic. Mind you, as Kimberly mentioned in the chat room, it is a waxing towards a full moon, which we are going to talk about, which means people are crazy. Mm-hmm. People are crazy, and that that energy is building towards crazy, and the ego and selfish desires and conflicts to just want to be in space, having to tell people to get the hell out of my space and back off, or to have to know who to grow with, and some kind of interesting feelings with relationships and kind of these sways with Leo and our moon, because moon is also very feminine, and women when in a waxing space are usually waxing towards a menstruation. So they're very hormonal, right? So we're kind of feeling this. The shadow work is, why are there not more male lions in a pack of lions? Why aren't there more? And it's just a thought, right? Just the witchy thoughts. Just the witchy thoughts. Just the witchy thoughts.
There's either a lot of Solo male lion somewhere around being lonely, or something happens to the male lions.
Mm-hmm. We won't say. You're so wise, Matthew. You're so wise. I won't say anything other than here, 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 here. That could be. That could be. That could be. If you guys have other thoughts, let us know. Maybe not. Maybe it's something else. Let's go to tomorrow. Let's go to tomorrow.
I was gonna have one more thing really, really quick. So Leo, also I see that as like, the public leadership. I want to be seen as a leader.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
you're gonna have people like picking up the flag to do these rebellious type things. So, it's I am the hairdresser that is going to, I mean, I'm thinking back last year, but I'm the one that's gonna like screw all the mask rules. I'm opening it up anyway. You're gonna have this. I'm gonna take the lead. I'm gonna take the spotlight. I'm gonna change these things. And so, yeah, look for a lot of that. People are gonna be like,
a lot of that. Yeah. I mean, all those things that you're saying. Noticing that you need to feel a little extra flashy, or that you want to put a little extra effort into whatever it is that you're working on, just putting a little pizzazz, or a little oomph in there, that you want to have a little ego, that you're stroking your ego. More than 7 mass shootings, by the way. This is that kind of energy, right? This is Aries on fire, Aquarius, social craziness, and people getting on fire.
I have a quick funny story that just makes me think of this. Hopefully it applies. So, we shared before, I had quadruplets, or I have quadruplets. And so when they were young, I guess there's worse things I could have said, but I said, damn it, a hell of a lot. And so my youngest of the quads, who is the most leader type of them all, had a whole bunch of blocks fall over. And so she looked at the blocks and then looked around to make sure I was looking at her, so that she could sit down and go, oh, damn it. Big smile on her face. Like, look what I did.
Saucy thing.
It's that kind of thing. I'm going to do something. I'm going to push the boundaries, but I want to make sure you're watching me when I do it. This isn't going to be behind the scenes changing rules and manipulating. This is going to be very, very public. I want to be acknowledged. I want people to know I'm pushing the boundaries.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Yep.
Look at me. Look up here. Look up here. Reference, of course, to Steve Martin. But so tomorrow, because today's almost over. It's late at night. We're gearing up for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be Thursday. It's going to be spark of energy. It's going to be time to motivate. It's going to be time to start gearing up. The waxing energy is really going to be, we're going to be feeling it. It's closer to Friday. Moon still in Leo. Opposite now, add to the mix, Jupiter in Aquarius. Gimme. That's Chris Farley running down the barrel of the hallway saying, cocaine.
I have to look at the, and I don't even know exactly, this is bad. Doing astrology, I don't even know, like, the ephemeris or however you pronounce that. I got to look at, I'll be happy when Jupiter and Saturn no longer in the same sign, because it's just not a good, it's like rules combined with opportunity. And so in here we went from Aquarius changing all the rules. Jupiter is the energy of, you're going to get opportunity and good fortune. So the door is going to be wide open to then go in and change up and blow up all the rules. So
Jupiter just wants more of whatever it is that you're having, and is going to take it, take it to the limit. That's Jupiter every time.
So today, the energy of, I'm going to challenge this very, very publicly. The opportunity is just the red carpet's just going to roll out tomorrow for you to be able to do that. Like, I'm going to open up my business even if I'm not supposed to. And then you're going to get there tomorrow, and there's just going to happen to be a TV crew, like, out front.
We're here filming for Undercover
or something else. It's just going to, it's just it can be a good combo if it's something good, but it could be like a horrible combo of, so you got the rules, I'm going to go against the rules, and now tomorrow, opportunity is just going to fall into your lap to go ahead and, you want this? Here it is. Go ahead and do it.
Here, take 12. Take 500. Take 500,000. Laziness and indulgence is going to go over everything to the excess. If you want it, you're going to get it. If you want your cake and eat it too, you're going to, it's kind of funny. I think of The Great Outdoors with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd and the old 96er. and being like, yeah, sure, he can do it. And yeah, if we do that, can you throw in some hats for the kids? And being like, oh yeah, no, he's done. Oh no, he's not done. No, he's done. No, he's not done. It's like, what? And then of course you get home, you finally get home, you get home after the car ride. It's hot, it's nasty, the air conditioner's broke. You walk in and the raccoons have gotten into the trash. And someone says, look at the size of those maggots, and he pukes everywhere, and it's so gross. And you're like, oh my God, that scene is so horrible. It's so gross. That is what's happening right now with Jupiter in Aquarius, being very stubborn to say, if you want it, you got it. And really pushing it there. So I expect whatever it is that we are manifesting, whatever it is you say. I've been doing a lot of superstitious knocking on woods lately because you don't want to test the universe right now. And I know you guys know what I mean. So Friday. A lot of people ain't got no job. Friday, waxing moon, getting really close to the full moon, not quite. And we've got all this tension. We've got all this miscommunication. We've got all this, oh yeah, I'm going to break it. I'm not just going to break it for you. I'm breaking it for everybody. These kinds of feelings for some people, and Jupiter in Aquarius and Saturn in Aquarius, and all the rules, and a very social, flighty, dramatic, theatrical space where, oh yeah, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? This universe doing that kind of bullshit. Be very careful. So then Friday hits. The sun is in Aries, and that will be conjunct with Venus in Aries.
All right. So last week the big thing was that transition of Venus from Pisces to Aries, where you could have a wrong idea and kind of misconceptions, and then all of a sudden opportunity was going to pop up. So We're past the misconceptions now. So you should have clarity at least.
You've said the said, you've done the done, you've said the things. We're getting the divorce. We're moving in together. We're having the baby. We're not doing the thing. We are doing the thing. I'm in it. I'm not in it. Here we go. Now what?
Conjunct is combined. So, so conjunct means they're like overlapping. So it's taking the energy and combining it. So it's like that face app, combining face apps, or I always go back to that like centaur thing. So you take a man, you take a horse, you get a centaur. It's half man, half horse. This is Venus. So it's Venus Aries energy, Sun Aries energy combined into one thing. So you have love, romance, or material and wealth. Sun, your just basic core external outward self, all combined in very impulsive, screw it, I'm just going to do it, Aries. So whatever you were considering doing on that romantic front, now that you have clarity, you will get clarity, and there will be a strong energy to move and act on it. So there's going to be a lot of romantic action with this conjunction, whether that's people hooking up, people committing, people deciding not to commit, so splits, getting together, triangle, affairs, like the whole, like it's going to be, if it's cooking, and you got to remember Jupiter, it's not an aspect here, but we got Jupiter and Aquarius again, so you get that opportunity.
Cocaine?
Yeah, it's gonna just, and if you're gonna tell me if there's a Jupiter aspect with Venus, that'll just make it worse. I don't know if there is or not. I don't. I like doing these cold, so I don't look ahead as to what we got.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we don't. So that's kind of cool.
Good. Nice. That'll make it a little better then. But so it's gonna feel, there's gonna be clarity, and it's gonna feel good, and there's gonna be like ambition. So just think of your 14 to 19-year-old self in the romantic category, and how maybe not well thought out some actions were, whether yourself or people that's going to be the kind of energy here.
Catching fire, good or bad.
Yeah.
To just
it's not necessarily negative. I know people that were together at 16 and they're still together. I mean, it's not necessarily going to be a bad thing, but
that's right. And as I always remind people in that alchemy space, remember, if things get hot and you don't like it, Or if you need clarity, remember, if things are on fire, think about your firemen. What do they tell you? Stop, drop, and roll. Get low, crawl, feel your way through, right? Smoke magic and that kind of watching how the air is moving. What kind of uncertainty. It was kind of funny. I was watching people on Instagram stories talking about fog, mist, the fog on the moor. In our poetry reading with the Bible, we talked about how we don't see all this kind of crap. Very consistent things about not being able to see or clogged vision through heat and fire and smoke. This, Venus and Aries, Sun and Aries, when you start having these very feminine, because Venus is, men go to Mars, women go to Venus. It's that feminine sensuality, art, beauty, subjective. I'll get political and say all those things: Asian hate, racism, prejudice. We should be doing this. We shouldn't be doing that. We should protect ourselves. We should be fearful. We shouldn't. Feelings and emotions in Aries. That's people saying and doing really dumb things. Hot things, passionate things. Ooh, that should be interesting. And to just be aware, have cool stones, cool rocks, peppermint, cooling herbs, cooling things, ice packs around, doing after you get out of the shower, splashing with ice cold water, doing the polar plunge near you. I don't know.
This is like it's funny, I have to give this advice to my son all the time, because the initial thing that always bursts out of his mouth is always bad. So I'm like, before you act or before you say something, just count to 10, count to 20, breathe deep, then still say if that action or what you were going to say is a good idea. Because there's going to be this energy to just move, and not that it's all going to be bad, but everyone knows sometimes if you just do something off the fly, if you had a little more time to think about it, man, I really shouldn't have done that. And so
It's a mosh pit. It's just a mosh pit. It's like when I think back to the Warped Tour, it's like, these were dumb days. These were dumb days. These days. How did I survive these days? These are the days. And we really need to be thinking about everyone and their kind of energy being very susceptible to this space coming up on a Friday. It falls on a Friday.
It's gonna be bad.
So let us just know that we said it here first. If it streams, I've been getting kind of issues with that lately. The better and more accurate we are, the quicker we're taken off the air. So hear it now and hear it live. And that's not just necessarily like an onanistic space of just be prepared of how to use that energy. It's very important.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, on Saturday, the 27th,
if you're going out, like if you're in any situation where some kind of change in a romantic dynamic is a possibility, just be very, very aware of this, because there's going to be a lot of incentive to act.
Yeah, don't go. I think we should bring in a third person and be a polyamorous to our marriage, and let's do it at a Buffalo Wild Wings on a Friday during a UFC fight night.
I just thought about the spring break's going on. Oh my God.
Spring break.
Oh, and spring break's bad. And it's going to be this Friday is going to be real. This Friday in the spring break locations is just going to be bad.
Wop, wop, wop up if it's stuck everywhere.
It's going to be bad.
Penises in the Suez Canal, here, there, everywhere. It's going to be crazy. And so we don't know what to expect. We just know, as just looking at the stars, just looking at what the space says, just looking at what the periodic table tells us.
I'll say this because it just popped into my head. Sunday, they'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth over very poor decisions that were made Friday and Saturday.
Well, we haven't even gotten into Saturday because Saturday is my favorite part. Saturday is my favorite part.
We'll get there.
Saturday, the moon moves from Leo into Virgo. So then we're going to become a perfectionist on the inside. We're going to go, you know what? Now that my ego has been fulfilled, let's get down to the details. And that's going to be trine, Pluto in Capricorn.
It's weird that we've hit Pluto every.
Pluto.
That's weird. We hit like, I think we've hit Pluto every show for something that doesn't move. I mean, I know everybody else is like making angles to it, but
Pluto's
I don't know why. I just
a
found that
planet. It doesn't always do a lot, so you don't usually see it.
there's a lot with Pluto lately.
Once every 20, 30, there's like major years, this year being the age of Aquarius. A lot of major shit happening.
All right. So trine in general is like synergy. So very like compatible type. I almost view it as the energy. So it's compatible, but it can almost be like too compatible. So it's almost like I view like trine like siblings, where a sextile could be like dating type thing. Like trine, you're close, but you can be almost too close. You know that you get annoying and you're like punching each other in the back seat of the car, being like, "Stop touching me! Stop touching me!" You know. So there is this kind of positive synergy though to it. So we have again emotions. I'm sorry.
Virgo and Capricorn are right there. So when you think of that trine, that sibling, that half step, that that it's going to be that Virgo and Capricorn half step, both of them in Earth, both of them wanting thoughts, practicality, but the moon in Virgo and Pluto in Capricorn.
This just hit me. And since I'm a Cap and you're a Virgo, maybe you'll get, and I don't want to derail this too much, but this just hit me. So Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. I think this hits Taurus the least, but energies. Capricorn, oldest sibling, Virgo, middle child, Taurus, youngest one. So Taurus is the one that, you know, gets to indulge a whole bunch of stuff and mom and dad treat better than the other ones. Capricorn is doing all these things and Virgo is the one analyzing the other two, being like all pissed off that why does Cap get to do this and I didn't get to do this, and why did such and such do it? So I don't know. That just hit me as a, and that's nothing derogatory to any of them, but
you can kind of do that across the board, I think, with some of those.
Yeah, I got to think about this one. Now, the only thing that would flip is I'd normally go like cardinal, fixed, mutable in that order. But Virgo almost, there's almost this, and I mean, no offense by this, there's almost this like Jan Brady.
Marsha.
Yeah, like the analytical picky of, you know, what the heck's that? So emotional, analytical, perfectionist, combined with, said it before, Pluto is so far distant. So, you know, we talk about like personal planets or your close ones, you get farther out, they're more Pluto doesn't give a crap. Pluto is big, broad, transformational changes, things that personally aren't really going to care, you know, about you. In the realm of, for Capricorn, it's, you know, success, it's driven, it's more rules because it's ruled by Saturn. So like here's this trine, they're kind of combined. So it's almost like some of these big changes and things that are going on are going to align well with like this emotional perfection and picking. So I actually think this is a kind of positive. The whole moon aspects on this chat tonight are all, I think, kind of positive. You're going to have high health, self-esteem. Then you're going to turn more inward and get more picky and perfectionist. But some of the big things that are moving out there are actually going to kind of align in a more positive way, that as you do get picky and start looking at these things, it's actually going to look pretty good.
Right. Constructive criticism that you go,
I don't think your self-esteem is going to crash, because, you know, once you turn in to look at things, it's actually going to look pretty good. So you're going to be like, okay, I'm good here.
I got this. We got this. I got this. We got this. You got this. You're going to start culling the herd. And then you realize, and needing to pick off the weak, a lot of them didn't actually make it through the winter. Hot diggity damn. I don't have to do a whole lot of that. How about that? It just kind of worked itself out. I did it. We hung in there and it just kind of worked itself out. The details can be played upon in a reflective way. And I remember very vividly, now he's a spirit guide mentor now because he's dead. But he was my hypnosis instructor, and he was one of my freshman professors when I was in college at Columbia. And he came up to me afterwards and was like, "You seem like kind of a weird person, right?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." He was like, "You should be in my group. We do the hypnosis club. I do hypnosis club. So it's kind of like I'm discipling you." And I was like, oh, okay. And so he hooked me up with like Dr. Leo Sprinkle and soul samples and MUFON and things like in the 90s that really went down into some weird wormholes. But anyway, he would say, pay attention or pay in pain. And hypnosis, that's kind of the name of the game. Pay attention or pay in pain. And that's how we learn. That's like how we learn. And we're relearning some things right now. And we have to kind of like that smoke in the air and that uncertain, that stellan, that Viking uncertainty as you float along the coastline where fog is over the coast. You have to be not just full of faith, but aware and pay attention or pay in pain. I really think that that's going to be the space right now for Pluto and Capricorn. Being aware, what are you obsessing over? Could actually be a good thing. Mm-hmm. And then Sunday, go to the dollar store, get a candle, do what you got to do. It's a full moon. EMTs, first responders, beware. Extra energy be with you. It's a full moon, but in what sign? Dun, dun, dun. It's a cardinal sign, which means it's forward. It's assertive. Air. Oh, no. Libra. Full moon in Libra on Sunday after a really crazy Friday and an introspective Saturday. What do you think is going to happen on Sunday? What do you see from it?
So kind of disclosure here. So I'm a cat, but I got stellium in Libra, so I got a lot of Libra energy, and so I'm kind of have a positive view of Libra on things in general. But I would say Libra energy, diplomatic, doesn't want conflict, but it's a cardinal sign, so they'll move, but they'll move things behind the, like we're trying to decide where to go out to eat or what we're going to do for food on a night, getting together with friends. And oh, by the way, I just thought of it. I brought us all pizza. I hope you like it. I forced everybody's hands without actually ever having the discussion or anything.
I brought everything. All of my second cousins, and they all are no shellfish, so we're gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean it's that kind of. So what I see is after all that, in the full moon energy, that kind of like sets the tone, like going forward. So like kind of going forward for the month. Not a lot of conflict, which is interesting because there's been a lot of conflict. So it's going to be trying to more mediate things, maybe passively behind the scenes, arranging things to move it in the way you want, but it's not going to be in your face arguing. There's not going to be a lot of drama and angst like that's open. So I guess with that, coming out of Virgo with that introspection and things looking pretty darn good. Now it'll be kind of how you're going to move things and how you're going to go and try to keep everything nice. Libra also likes nice things and nice stuff around them. So there's going to be an indulgence along with this as well. So
right in time, people getting their tax returns back, the stimulus, recovery plan, payment thingies going out, people kind of feeling themselves. Not feeling themselves.
You're not going to find any. You're not going to find, in my opinion, we don't know for sure, but I would say that all the people of Walmart memes and things. I don't think there's any Libras in any of those people of Walmart. Like
you don't think
Libras won't go out like wearing like a pair of underwear for a like COVID mask or like, it's just.
Libras and Leos.
They might still wear weird looking stuff, but it's going to be nice.
It's going to be nice.
Yeah, they like nice stuff.
It's going to be trendy. I would agree in that they are air. They very much are out there to be trend consistencies and not ones to possibly humiliate themselves. And now I've got to go see who all the Libras are, who we're going to start seeing. Who were the Libras that you found when we were looking up those people the other night? Well, mainly you.
Well, I thought it was funny that I thought David Lee Roth was a Leo. He ended up being a Libra, but that makes sense because there's the other thing too. Libras are kind of Libra. They're kind of the I go back to the I always go back to like these high school. I know we have different like models that we do, but like in the high school thing, they're like the. And maybe I'm dating myself on this, but they were what we would call like the preppies, the whole you know,
The
the
squares.
the pretty boy, well, the pretty boys, pretty girl, like, you know, homecoming queen, and it's, you know, they
Squares.
look nice, they like nice
The
stuff, they're
jocks.
gonna drive a nice car, they're gonna
Popular
well, no,
kids.
they
The
might
mean
not necessarily
girls.
be the jock. They might be the ones that are just they got the nice stuff,
Oh.
and they're ruled by
Oh.
Venus. They're ruled by Venus, so they will tend to look good. You know, or at least care about their appearance a lot.
Oh, like the girl, the in Sweet 16 in the Breakfast Club. So it'd be the girl.
Yes, the Molly Ringwald
Molly
character would
Ringwald
be
character.
Libra.
Might have dated myself there, but yeah. Me. Yes.
Well, it's funny. I know we talked about we mentioned Heather's because I thought
I love
the killer dude Jason Dean is like a perfect Scorpio. But as I was going through that more and more, there's a lot of good like stereotype archetype type characters.
Well, and
in
I've been
Heather's
thinking of
all the time.
Beetlejuice. I've been thinking of Beetlejuice and
Oh
the
yeah.
Paula Dean would, or, Norma Jean would never come down here. And she's like, got to make sure that the house gets done. And if you do not let this, I think about maybe that being a little bit of a Libra.
Yeah, I could see that.
But all good movies. You guys be sure and comment, what Libras do you know? What kind of qualities do you see them portraying in this space? Because it is going to be a full moon in Libra this Sunday. So whether you are Christian or atheist or just going outside to stand underneath and look at it in all of her beauty, this is going to allow your relationships to be scrutinized. You're going to see things kind of under a little bit more of a macro, micro, like try to maintain that balance. I remind people to discern, how do you know something without seeing it? Or if you were to be blind, try, listening to some of that Ray Charles and blindfold yourself and have the full moon giving all of that light and information and intuition. Use that to communicate. Think of other ways to communicate. Apollo, Hermes, Flash Gordon, right? The Chariot, Ravens, sending a letter. Do something different. Think about it differently. Think about how you might do it if you could not see the same way. Of course, I'm from Missouri, from the Show Me State, so we always have to kind of see it to believe it. But what if you couldn't see? Like, what would you do? I'm going to be like moving my furniture around. I'm going to be changing. Like, it's the worst thing you could do for a blind person. Move all my furniture around. Going to clean. But the reason I'm doing that is for like bugs and pests. This is that time of year, Ostera and Easter. Eggs are hatching. People are finding out they're pregnant, all of this kind of stuff. People are nesting, people are cleaning, and also bugs are coming out of things. So you want to open the windows to let them in, but also not let them in. You want to let them out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And all of that magic has to do with us unconsciously too, I think. So that full moon in Libra, it's like, you know what? There's seven spiders for every one I see. There's at least 7 I don't. You can't let that be something you're going to obsess over, moon in Virgo. You got to let it be in Libra. Communicate differently. Think about it differently. Try not to freak out. Maintain balance, right? How do you do that? What are you going to be doing for the full moon?
And you're never more than 3 feet away from a spider, supposedly. What am I doing? So it's got to be the balance, and as we shared at the beginning of this, of like how this week has been kind of a cosmic shit show so far, of trying to just realign and just not lose my crap, and just all these weird things that happen this week, just kind of go through it and be all right.
That is one way to say it, a cosmic shit show. In this hope, optimism, that really March is about your odds. It's about probability. And I know that usually that is something that we can see. So it's patterns, it's correlative research, evidence, empiricist type things. But there also has to be that sense of the allegory of the cave, and that this person's depicting to you a story that is completely juxtaposing everything you know to be true and seeing what you see, but that you also know in your heart of hearts that it's true somewhere. This space. I think that we're going to have a lot of that in this next week. And for that, I'm very excited. And I think that purging and culling and cleaning your space, doing a lot of protective meditating, reinforcement, empowering yourself, listening to yourself, not going out on Friday, even though you're going to want to. There's probably going to be a lot of opportunity, potential, and you're going to think to yourself, and I'm going to think to myself, I could have that job. I should do that thing. I should go out to there. Why shouldn't I? Don't. And not don't. Don't say yes right away.
Mm-hmm. This popped into my head, so I'm going to go with it. But first of all, I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. I can't. Same thing as like I can't chat. So I don't
Since I'm hosting it, he can do nothing.
Yeah. And you threw me under the bus last week. And you're like, Matt's not chatting because he's just an asshole. No. So hello, everybody in the chat. Nice. I'm very happy that you guys are on. I just thought of this though. Aries and Mars season, they kind of did that all because March was the start of the military campaigns and Roman. And so if you want to think about it, this is just like a mental exercise for everyone. If you are starting your campaign for the year, your battle, what you're going to do, what's your campaign for this year? What's the battle you're going to take on? What's the thing, and how's that going to progress? Because it's kind of taking that impulsive energy and tackling whatever that mountain or challenge is. So I know it's not an aspect, but it kind of came into my head as we're talking about. I forget, something you said made me think about the military thing.
Yeah, like your campaign slogan. What it is that you are going to stand for, what it is going to be your motto or your battle cry. These kinds of things are so important. I kind of think about, if you were going to have a merchandising slogan, or you were like Forrest Gump running along and, shit happens or something like that. What is it that is you are going to just kind of say to yourself as you are recycling energy in the next few days? And then you will be able to catch us next Tuesday, guys, but we will not leave you completely hanging, because Monday after that full moon, you're going to be like, whoa, you're still going to be feeling it, the full moon. Then there is that shadow space. And Monday we are going to have Mercury in Pisces, conjunct Neptune in Pisces. That's right. You heard me. Mercury and Neptune in Pisces.
At least we'll be done with Pisces soon.
Slowly.
And I like Pisces. Don't get me wrong. I like Pisces, but I feel like there's a shoot the messenger element on, because I feel it's very hard to deliver good news with a Pisces aspect, because it's ruled by Neptune. It's this whole kind of dreamy deception, not deception, but self-deception. You mentioned earlier, foggy is the best way I can describe like Pisces. It's foggy. So
Friday night, stay with me. I have a feeling that's what Monday's going to be, is a lot of, so what I remember was, what exactly? What? Well, insert Neptune and Pisces. Delusion, lies, manipulation, ripples, water, reflecting, refracting. That's, I'm 16. I can do what I want, Dad. That's Ariel and Little Mermaid and King Triton. It's just a nightmare. I'm an adult. Okay. One of 13 girls. Poor man. Yeah. This is Neptune and Pisces, and this is Monday with Mercury. It's that, I think of the media. I think of headlines. I think of, and on Friday, not only were there 17 more shootings, but, that's why we have to do this. It's going to be some ridiculous correlation that makes absolutely no sense, and it's completely delusional because it's Neptune and Pisces, and we know it is if we really thought about it. But it'll be really harping on fear and emotion. And can you believe Friday? And no, we can't believe Friday. And we haven't had enough time to think about Friday. So wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. What are you saying? Mercury and Pisces. I expect weirdness.
I expect weirdness too. I'm going to initially tie this to the pain and carnage from Friday and Saturday for all the impulsive Venus and Sun hooking up and other things that are going on, that now we're getting Mercury. So again, it's conjunct. So we're combining Mercury, communication, thoughts, Neptune, dreams, delusions, fantasy, combining. So you're going to have communication and thoughts around dreams, delusions. So you're going to possibly misread things. You're going to, I just got a text and, oh my God,
It wasn't
he
meant
loves
for
me.
you.
He loves me, or oh my God, this is like it's just going to be but it's broader than that. I'm just thinking because of all the carnage on Friday and Saturday, there's going to be all these like misread communications like 2 days later. That's just going to make it worse. But this is going to be in general. This is going to be if you are. I hate going this route, but if you're a QAnon person and you think that people are sacrificing babies, for power and government. And Monday is going to be the day that you see the tweet or the comment made in some speech that just absolutely reinforces that, the revolution is coming Wednesday.
India has got little green bracelets that say, "Welcome to the new world opportunity."
Yeah. Thoughts and communications reinforcing fantasy and delusions.
Right.
So lots of people are going to see what they want to see, but what they're seeing isn't necessarily reality.
Well, but see, this is why it's going to be fun. Monday. Can't wait for Monday. It's going to be fun. I expect there to be craziness, which is going to be, that's always fun. When Paranormal Sarah actually becomes normal Sarah in comparison to everything else going on out there. It's really wild. I don't even have to do anything anymore. Just stay in my cabin in the woods and do nothing. And Paranormal Sarah becomes normal Sarah. But that's what's going to happen, I think, over the weekend. Whether or not you want to be a part of it, you don't have to be in Colorado. You could have been in Florida or Chicago or Minneapolis or any other city across America that had crazy shootings. And that's, I think, mostly due in part to mental health and openings and that kind of thing. But we're also having a full moon, and we're also having kind of an amp up and emotional things and the stirring of the pot. And it's just going to be, I expect, an eventful weekend. So choose wisely, pay attention, or pay in pain. I know a few of you in the chat room have asked, do Matt or I do readings? We do. We both do readings. And we do a really cool reading together. That's a yearly reading if you'd like. But we're absolutely more than welcome to customize something if you'd like. Mary says, man, if I get that stimulus money, I want both of you to come to a reading. Absolutely. Mary, Susie, all of you guys joining us. Thank you so much. As usual, that's just kind of like our 45-minute, check-in. But if you guys have questions, I want you to check out Matt. PM private message, find him on Facebook. I've tagged him in all of the stuff that you'll see on Facebook and YouTube. But you will also see him on Sunday night, the Paranormal channel for Sunday Night Dead. But you're doing a show. I don't want to say that you are, and then maybe you're not. But are you doing a cool
show,
Paranormal one on Friday?
I messed up. I keep thinking that today's Thursday. Friday. I'm a guest. So we do. I'm kind of a guest on another show, and monthly we do like horror movies. But actually, this week we are going to be talking about the Cecil Hotel and Eliza Lamb and all the interesting things there, which I'm sure most of you know that story, but if you don't.
Yeah, if you've been struck by Discovery Plus and all the nightmarish things on cable and you just were like, I'm not doing it, and you haven't, this is really cool. Also, some books released in the past year, ironically, which if you're a conspiracy theorist, you would say it's not ironic. It's a part of Event 204. But anyway, it gets into crazy vaccine type, crazy conspiracy theories, but also paranormal, weird, true crime and cool things. So I know I'm going to be listening, and that's on Friday. So you guys, again, check out Matt and all of that stuff to see what he's going to be doing on Friday and Sunday. And then Mary said, man, I already started doing stuff on Sunday for research with the show, and she's loving it. And you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And then that's it. We're going to let you guys go so you can prepare for Thursday. You know what to do now that you've heard it here first. And do you have anything to add, Matt? Anything I'm forgetting?
No, I just think it's going to be Friday, Saturday. If you're in a position where you can like watch and observe, I think Friday and Saturday are going to be wildly entertaining if you're not in the fray. But I'm thinking of
Yeah.
those. I'm thinking of those poor spring break look. I mean, that's a bad setup to begin with, and it's just going to be really bad on Friday.
Well, and I wouldn't want to be traveling back from somewhere or wanting to like any of that. None
Yeah.
of that. Don't want to do any of that. So if you are someone who, the pandemic has allowed you to work from home, or you've had a stretch in your schedule where Friday doesn't even mean anything anymore, maybe don't let Friday be a Friday this Friday. Let Sunday be your Friday, and and because Saturday you would have thought about things and planned it really well, and then everyone else will be hungover and really sad and guilty in their decisions, and you'll just be out celebrating like da da da. And that's how we would like to do it. So, but take our advice or don't. Do what you will. Do what you will. And let us know how it goes for you. Let us know how it
Yeah.
goes for you. And join us next week, as always, when we give you the astrological check in and updates for what to expect. So until then, guys, we'll see you later.
Take care. Have a great week, everybody.